Good morning.
Good morning. Angie, I see you got yours working. Keegan, did yours work?
Yeah.
Good. All right. So just to verify, double check. Now, when you run yours, you have 6 buttons. Customers will get you first 10 customers, or 7, I think it was. Orders, the first 10 or so orders. Order details, the first 10 order details. Categories get you all 6. Products gets you the first 10 or so products, and exits. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do, I'm going to stop the share for a minute because I'm taking for granted that both of you are going to be able to do this. And that is, I want you to, I want you to go back to your project. Okay, and I want you to close your project or your solution. So close it, save it as if you need to save it. If it does ask you about saving any .SQL files, don't worry about that. You don't have to. All right. So close the solution. And I said I didn't want to save. But what I want you to do is, rather than starting up a new project, which we could do, but this isn't the way that we're going to do it. What we're going to do instead, what I would like you to do, and I got tons of stuff open here, I'm sorry, there we go, is I want you to go over on your desktop to the project that you've just created, and I think it's called Final Project. I want you to right mouse click on that folder and make a copy. So it'll probably be called Final Project -copy. You can do that. If you want, you can just change it so it says Final Project 2. It really and truly doesn't matter. All right. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Project 2. All right. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to grab the Project 2 folder and I'm going to double click on it. In fact, let me show you this. Hopefully I'll be able to. All right. Let's see. So I made the copy, and I've got one now that's called Final Project, and I've got one now that's called Final Project 2. All right. I'm going to double click on the file Project 2, and inside of there, I've got a file Project 2.sln. I'm going to double click on that one. That will start Visual Studio, and it'll bring up that project. And again, I realize that project as of right now is exactly identical to the one that we created earlier. I get that. That's totally fine. So what do we get? Prevent possible data loss. I don't even care about that. That shouldn't hurt anything. So let's see. All right. Can you see on my screen right now? Because I'm not sure where it came out. Can you see my program or not on the screen?
No, we're seeing your
All right, then we're going to get
Final Project folder.
All righty. Now can you?
Now we see the studio.
Okay.
With your form.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. All right. So you see my form on screen right now, customers, orders, categories, etc. You see all that, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, we're going to do a little bit of creativity here. And what I mean is, what we want to do is I'm going to take the size of these buttons and I'm going to shrink it down. All right. And I'm going to, on my left side, where we've got these buttons right here, the current ones we have, we're going to change this to show customers, show orders, show order details, show categories, and show products. for right now, I'm not even going to worry about the exit button. We'll worry about that later. But again, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to unlock my controls so I can change the size of these buttons. Now, as I make them smaller, because I made the text real big, I'm going to shrink down the size of the text as well. All right. So let's see. I'm going to make it so it looks something like this. All right. And I might be able to make it probably a little bigger than that. So it's about like that. All right. Why? Hopefully you're going to see why in just a moment. But I'm going to look at that size. And that size right there, let's see if it looks like it's 241 by 72. All right, so I'm going to come in down here. I'm going to grab this one and make it 241 by 72. And then I'm going to grab this one and I'm going to make it 241 by 72. And I'll worry about fixing the size of the text, etc. in just a second. Let's have categories next. It really and truly doesn't matter. So this will be 241 by 72. And finally, so will this one.
I had to fix some stuff on mine before I recreated a new one or whatever. Can you explain to me again what you did from the start, please?
Sure. What do you have the copy now?
Yeah, I can make a copy of it.
All right, make a copy. And I just changed the name of my outside folder from Final Project to Final Project 2. And then I open up the project. There's different ways you can open it up, but one way to open it up is to just double click on your outside folder, the one that says now Final Project 2, and inside you should have a file in there called finalproject.sln. Do you see that?
No.
All right, let me go back. So I'll show you just real quickly what I did, okay? So let's see. Give me a second here because I want to be able to reproduce everything for you, all right? So let's see. All right, can you see on my desktop right here all my folders and the like?
Yeah.
All right, so what I did was I right mouse clicked on my final project. I chose copy. Then I right mouse clicked on an empty area over here and I chose paste. And that should make another folder here, but it should say final project space hyphen space copy. So try to do that and tell me if that's what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens when I did that.
Then go into that file that says copy and remove the space hyphen space copy. So it just has on it, change it to 2. So you'll have your original you finished, final project, and now you'll have final project 2.
Okay, I got that.
Then double click on final project 2. And when you do, you should have 2 folders, one that says .vs, one that says final project, and you should have another file underneath there that says finalproject.sln. Do you have that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have that.
Double click on that. Double click on that file.
I don't have the .vs file though.
That's all right. And when it comes up, bring up your folder in design mode. And I've changed the size of each one of my buttons and I'm redoing them here. So my buttons are all 241 for the width and 72 for the height. There's nothing special about that. That's just the size I made them. They're going to look a little funky right now, but we're going to make the text on here smaller in just a second. So I'm going to highlight all of the buttons at one time, and I'm going to go over to my font, which currently is set at like 36 or something like that. Well, that's way too big, as you would imagine. So I'm not sure what it should be, but I'm going to try 14 right now. That's probably a little small. So I'm going to try it again. And I'm going to see what 20 looks like. That's not bad. All right. But what I want to do is I want to change the name of each one of these buttons. I'll leave their names the way they're set here. That's totally fine. But the first one, instead of saying customers now, I want it to say show customers. In fact, you know what? Let's leave them all. That's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. Angie, do you have yours set up like this? Because if you don't, please do. Again, you'll now have 6 buttons in a row here. Customers, orders, order details, categories, products, and exit. It is important that you're able to see. It is important that you are able to come in here and actually see the entire words. In other words, I don't want that to just say order. I want it to say order details. But if you make it about that size, and again, I made it, what did I just tell you? So my font size on there, it's not 8. My font size is 20. All right. All right. Keegan, were you able to do all this?
Yeah, but we can't see your screen. I was following them.
No, that's cool. Thank you for telling me. Can you see my white screen with my buttons on it now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So what's going to happen is, for lack of better words, this is going to be our main form. This will be our main form. All right. So in other words, we're not going to change the code from what we had. I'm not going to run this program, but you should be, you're both smart enough to know, if I run the program now and I click this, I'll still get the first X number of customer records or order records, etc. All right. And that's fine. But what we want to do is we want to bring up we want to create a main customers form, a main orders form, a main order detail form, a main categories form, a main products form, and that's it. This exit is fine where it is. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this button right here. Doesn't matter which one we use, but I'm going to copy it to the clipboard and then paste it. All right, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, I don't know, let's see. I'm going to call this one customer options. All right, and I'm going to change the text from customers to customer options. So it looks like that. All right. We haven't made this yet, so don't worry about it, but I'm going to do the same thing for the other 4 here. So Control C, Control V. So this second one, as you'd guess, is going to become order options. All right, I'm going to do it again. This one will become order detail options. This one probably is going to come over 2 lines, but let's see. Yep, no, it still fit. That's good. And it'll be called button order detail options. All right. Then we're going to create category options. And finally, product options. All right, so the first thing I want to do is, this is a little bit off because that's a little bit wider than I want it to be. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to move these over just a little bit. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to move these over just a little bit. That's a little better, but it's not perfect, but it's fine. All right. Okay. Now, before I do anything else, I want to double check and I want to make sure that all these that I renamed were actually renamed. So I can click on each one, go up here, button customer options, button order options, button order detail options, button category options, button product options. Now, and they're fine. I could have also clicked the down arrow up here and checked all of them at once. All right. But the only other thing I want to do here is I can click on any of these buttons and I'm going to right mouse click and choose lock controls. All right. So I have now gone in and I have redone, so to speak, my main form. If you're the kind of person, I think it looks okay the way it is. It's not great, but it's fine. If you want the exit button to be in between these two, then do that. All right. And the next thing I want to do is I'm going to do a file, save all, and I want to double check to make sure I didn't break anything. It's always a good idea to do this. Customers works, orders works, order detail works, categories works, products works, exit works, and these don't have any functionality yet. All right. So I'm going to exit and say yes. All right. Now, that's what I wanted to do first. Now I've got to go back. Give me just a second here because I want to go back to my notes. Why? Because I want to show you the right way to do this. What we are going to end up doing next is this. All right. And we will write code today, so we'll be able to jump back and forth between forms. All right. We have to create 5 new forms here. So we're going to create form customer options, form order options, form detail order options, form category options, and form product options. All right. After we get done creating those particular forms, each one of those forms is going to have 4 buttons on it. It will have one, for example, this one. You will have one button that will say insert customer, another button that will say, or create customer, doesn't matter, another button that says update customer, and another button that says delete customer, and one more button that will say return to main form, that when we click it, we're going to go back to this form. Does that make sense to both of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's going to end up happening is, pardon my French, but, well, I was going to say a poop load. We're going to make a boatload of forms. We have to make 5 more to handle these. And then each one of these is going to need 3 more forms. So in essence, when we get done in our project right here, rather than just having form1.cs, we're literally going to have 20 more forms. All right. Now, when I did this with a class when we only did 2, all right, we didn't have an intermediate form like this. What we did was we changed our form so that it just said show customer options, show order options, etc. So this form that you're seeing here, because we only had about 4 of them, became our main form. All right. So what I'm saying is we're going to have an intermediate form now for each one of these. All right. And if I confused you, I'm sorry, but let's just start creating forms right now. So I'm going to right mouse click on here on the name of my project. I'm going to right mouse click and choose add new item. And it's been a while since I've done this, but I want form, Windows form, which is under Visual C#. Okay, you with me? And this first one, I'm going to call form customer options. Now I'm doing this quickly. If you're missing anything or something doesn't make sense or you don't see something, say something. Can you see what I'm doing on your screens?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so please do that. Go in there, right mouse click on the name of your project, choose add new item, and under Visual C# items, choose form and put in form customer options. All right, and click add. There's our new form. Then we're going to create another one. So I'm going to go back to here. And again, I'm going to right mouse click. I'm going to choose add. I'm going to choose new item. I'm going to again choose form. My dog's going nuts because they just let the neighbor dog out. And I'm going to call this form order options. So that's going to be the second one that I've just created. So I've now added that one. I'm going to again jump back to my main form. Again, right mouse click on project. Again, add new item, form, Windows form. And this next one will be form order detail options. So there's the third one. I'm again going to go back to my main form, create my fourth and fifth. So I'm going to right mouse click on my project again, add new item, forms. The next one is form category options. All right. And then finally, do it one last time. And again, right mouse click on there, add new item, form. And my last one will be form product options. All right. So I know I told you this before, but I'm going to say it again. It's going to seem very minor, but I want it when this program runs, I want it to look as, for lack of better words, in sync and nice, professional, whatever as possible. So I'm going back to my main form, if I can find it, and it is in here. So there it is. And if you remember, what I said was I wanted, come on. In this main form, I said I wanted it to have a size of 816 by 740. Write that down if you need to. 816, 740. So I'm going to go and change each one of these. With my products form, I'm going to change this to 8. It's already 816, but I'm going to make it 740. So there's that one. I'm going to go to my categories and I'm going to make that 740. I'm going to go to my order details and I'm going to make that one 740. I'm going to go to my order options and I'm going to make that one 740. All right, so that's one. One's changed, two has changed, three has changed, four has changed, and the one that wasn't changed was my customer form. So I'm going to find that one, and I'm going to change that one to 740. All right. The other thing that I'm going to do, and again, you can have your own feelings on this, whether it's like, well, that's not that big a thing, or it is. But I'm going to come up here, and I want to change the title that's up here for my form, so the text for the form. And I'm just going to put in here, right now it says Form Customer Options. All right. And I'm going to change that to this is the customer or customers main form. All right. So I'm changing that one. You can see how it changed here. And then I'm just going to go down the line. I'm going to go over to orders. So this is order options. I'm going to change the text on this to this is the orders main form. And you can see how that's changed. I'm going to go here and I'm going to change it to this is the order details main form. All right, I'm going to come over to here and it's going to say this is the categories main form. And finally, I'm going to come over to here and say this is the products main form. The program still, we're not going to be able to bring these up. We will in just a few minutes when we go over the next one. All right. And again, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to make the color for my main forms. I'm just going to make it a light blue. It just came to mind. You don't have to do that. I've noticed on yours, at least, some of you aren't doing anything with colors. That's fine. Not a problem. But there's the products. There's the categories. There's the order details. There's the orders. And here's the customer. Now, one thing, just so you know this, you may care, you may not care, but I'm keeping my main one white. This is fine. All right. And this looks okay. Sales orders, database, main screen, that's fine. If you'd rather change yours so they're more symmetrical and have it say something like, right now I've just got it saying what? This is the customer's main form. If you'd rather have it say sales orders, database, customer's main form or something, it's fine. And if you don't, that's also fine. All right. And since customers is the first one, I am going to come in here, and I don't know if you can do this or not. I think you can, but I'm going to go back to my main form. I just got my 10-minute warning here, but I should have enough time to do what I want to do here. And that is, I'm going to go back to my main form. Yep, I don't even need to do that. I was going to copy a button over. I can, but it's no big thing. I want these buttons over here to be bigger. All right. So all I'm going to have on here are going to be 4 buttons. So I'm going to come in and create my first one here. Not showing my toolbox currently. It's got my Server Explorer. So all I have to do is a view toolbox. Boom, it's going to change the toolbox. Double click on button. There's a button. It's going to be nice and big because again, there's nothing else on here. All right. So yeah, it looks big, kind of clunky or chunky. That's okay. All right. And again, I'm going to go back and this one will be called button insert customer. And that's what I want it to say is insert customer. Make sure you're putting it on the customer one. All right. And again, as you've seen, I'm going to go back and I'm going to change my font size on here. Oh, before I think we had it at 36. Let's try 28. Bold and Arial. And I spelled customer wrong. That looks okay. All right. And then I'm going to copy that button, paste it right next to it. And over here, this one will say update customer. So I'm going to change the name of the button to button update customer. And the code that's there will be, or the text on the button will be update customer. All right, I'm going to copy it again. This one will be, again, I'm a little anal about some of this stuff. That's not bad. This next one will be delete customer. And the last one is going to say return to main form. So I'm going to call it button return to main form, and the text will also be return to main form. All right. Questions on this?
No.
All right. What I'm going to do, it's 8:35. Believe it or not, I'm going to take a break till 9. Why? I want you to go in, rather than you watching me make buttons, I want you to go in then to your order options and have an insert order, an update order, a delete order, and a return to main form for that. Go to your order details and, so set these up for your other 4 forms. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do that by 9 o'clock. We'll meet up then. I'm going to do it on mine as well, but rather than you sit there for 15 or 20 minutes and watch me make buttons, to me, that's a waste of my time. And it's a waste of your time. So we'll start up again at 9 o'clock. That should give me enough time to make these, and then we'll start adding the code, okay? All right,
Okay.
so go ahead and fall off, and I drop off, and I will see you in 25 minutes. Thanks.